Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Bold Patent Show, Bold Inventor Show. I'm JD Hoovener with my co-host Matt Kolseth. Matt, good afternoon.
Well, hello there.
Hey, so good to see you. We were just chatting a little bit before.
So good to be seen. You look great, man. I love the hair's coming in nicely.
Okay, so today we're talking about new year, new innovations, trends, technology trends. Lots going on. I think AI is the buzzword of last year.
Yep, for sure.
It probably will continue to, invade, present itself in some cool ways. Let's take a moment on that. So, one thing I did recently, I may have mentioned this to you on our website. We have always offered copyright services and trade secret. We hadn't actually put it up on the website, and it'd been a while since I put together a description. I sat down in a matter of 20 minutes, was able to put together an incredible description of copyright legal services. I just worked with ChatGPT, plugged in some of the pieces I knew we offered, and said, hey, why don't you write me another couple more paragraphs and bullet points.
Make it more exciting. Change the tone, right?
Yeah. It really is powerful. It's powerful.
So I use ChatGPT with my youngest daughter because we like to come up with stories at night. And so we'll create a prompt in ChatGPT, like, tell us a children's story about a ghost in a cemetery. And it'll write the story. And then, I'll read it to her, or we can change it. Be like, we'll make it scarier, or, add a dog, right? And it'll do it. It's bizarre.
Wow. I've not tried that. That's really cool. Okay. So basically writing. You're basically writing. I mean, it's got some preloaded stuff, but it keeps coming back to the point of, the ingenuity. The innovation is, of course, in the question asking, the prompting.
Right.
And how colorful, how innovative can you be with those prompts?
Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT, it's a really cool, obviously really powerful product, right? But at the end of the day, there's lots of intellectual property considerations for it. Like how much of what you wrote or posted on the website is actually copyrightable, right? Because it was written by ChatGPT, but you were a co-writer kind of.
Ooh, yeah.
You edited it, right? So are you both authors? Can you get a copyright on something if ChatGPT also helped engineer that thing, right? That art.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you prevent someone else from using that same content?
Right. Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff out there, right? And then, I've had clients use it for coming up with brand names for trademark, products and services. That's totally fine to do. But, we have a client last week who is in the process of building out like a comic book universe with a bunch of characters, right? And they've employed something like ChatGPT to come up with the look and feel of a lot of the characters, right? And so his question to me was, can I copyright this, or how do I protect this?
Yeah.
And the answer is have somebody redo it.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if you like what ChatGPT drew for you, right, use that as inspiration for a human-driven design. Because at the end of the day, you can't copyright something that's done by a computer.
That's right. Yeah.
Or dog.
Yeah, I think some of these, there'll have to be some key court decisions at the federal circuit and even Supreme Court. I think they'll be similar to drawing back to those old ones, right? Substantial similarity. Is it, how has it been transformed
has it been transformed? Does it impact, the revenue stream of the prior, content creator, right? I mean, there's a whole bunch of considerations there, but it is a good question, right? I mean, if you are working, let's take your example. If you are working with ChatGPT on coming up with some sort of paragraph or blog post about copyright services, to what extent is that, paragraph owned or protectable under U.S. copyright law? If you review it and you change the syntax or change up some of the words in the sentences, to what extent do you have to go to make it your own, worthy of copyright protection, right? That's interesting. I don't know the answer to that.
No, that's a toughie. That's it depends on a whole lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, speaking of copy and paste, I'm going to go just pull this up. I had this Forbes, a well-known resource, their top 10 strategic tech trends for 2024. So I'll just copy those 10 in. And guess what? AI is not just number one, but number 2, 3, and 4. We're looking at democratized generative AI, AI trust, risk, security management, AI augmented development, intelligent applications, and it's pretty generic, augmented connected workforce, continuous threat exposure management, machine customers. I don't know what that, machine customers, sustainable technology, platform engineering, industry cloud platforms. Interesting. And I'm sure they're not talking about, like a doc platform. I feel like
Yeah.
we're talking about software platforms. But
yeah, super interesting. There was a documentary on Netflix I was watching maybe a month ago about AI, right? And the potential threats that AI, presents to us as humans. One of the interesting things was there was a research group that was basically looking for, cures to cancer and illnesses and things like that. And they were using AI basically to help generate all these different molecular structures that could potentially be used, for therapeutic purposes.
Yeah.
My question is, so let's say they come across, one of these molecules, right, that does have a significant therapeutic benefit.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't create it, right? They had literally a list made from thousands of different, AI, combinations given to them.
Right.
At what point can they patent that, right?
Oh, no. Yeah. I don't think so. Yeah.
So that's the thing, though, because at the end of the day, like if we're trying to promote innovation and progress, patent law is the way that we kind of promote that, right? We give a benefit for the exclusive right to use it and to distribute it and let people know how you did it. So we want to promote that, right? But we also don't want to slow down progress because we're not going to let people use AI to generate these products potentially, right? I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about that?
It's a tool. It's a hell of a tool, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people draw analogies to the internet, pre-internet, that type of a thing, like this mega tool to do research, to compile information. This is where it's generating information. And in theory, it's been done before. And so anything that spits out at you is inherently not novel. And so I think the argument will have to be, as the inventor, the human being, is that I'm collecting a bunch of non-novel information and putting them together, asking questions that have never been asked before, and providing some result, causing a result that's freaking unique. And I think the inventor is deserved in that case if they're put together a novel result that's not obvious.
So say, like, for example, this software system's AI system,
Yeah,
that they've created. It's obviously a bespoke AI system that they're using, but it comes up with a list of 1,000 different molecules, right?
sure.
So theoretically, right, it comes up with the list. The researchers should have to do their due diligence, kind of run through all the models, right? And they might find something in that process that's interesting to them, and potentially then they start focusing on that particular molecule. And I would imagine at some point they could claim patent rights in that. What do you think?
Yes, indeed. And I think going right back to the Constitution, my friend, the language does say invent or discover. Invent or discover, which I do truly think broadens it out to sort of identification. You don't necessarily have to drum it up from the ether.
Right. And that makes sense, right? Because at the end of the day, we want this progress to occur, right? And we want to use all the tools and levers at our disposal. And we wouldn't want to punish folks for relying on technology to, better the human race, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It'll be fascinating to see how this develops.